All right. What's up, everyone? This is the No Wins podcast. I got familiar face in Merton and two new guys. Say your names.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
Hello, I'm Jordan.
Please clap. Thank you. All right. So, all right, nice. There we go. I had everything Jeb Bush couldn't.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, we're starting off hot here.
Could never be you.
The singular
Exactly.
clap. That was actually a desk smack, but close enough.
I mean, the mic picked it up, so that's what counts.
I was clapping too, yeah, my mic just didn't pick it up at all.
I mean, I
don't
think it makes it
heard
better that
either
way.
you clapped.
I definitely heard the slam. So, I mean, starting out, you guys have a topic you like more than others?
Not particularly.
All right.
You said you wanted to do sports before video
Yeah.
games? Well, then you can talk
We can
about.
do like the week review.
You can start with the baseball.
Start with baseball.
Yeah, so we can get rid of
Ohtani?
it.
Oh.
I mean,
get
there's
rid of it.
one big piece of news that I feel like we could touch on in baseball. Or 700 million pieces that we could touch on.
True. All right, let's get to it then. Ohtani.
I mean, he's staying on the West Coast.
That is true.
That team is terrifying, though. The Dodgers.
That's what I've been hearing. So, as a non-baseball man, I have only heard the amount and that he's basically a DH because he's hurt.
Yeah, you can't pitch. Yeah, so.
Well, they have Mike Trout, so they don't need him to pitch.
That's
Trout
a lot
is-
of money just to hit the ball.
About that, Merton.
Isn't Trout
What?
still with the
He's
Angels?
definitely still on the Angels, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wrong team.
Wait,
Merton is willing things into existence.
we're getting Mike Trout as well.
Weird. Wait a minute. Is this is this a revelation? Are you an Angels fan?
No.
Or
Dodgers
Dodgers? Yeah, right. I forgot he was traded too. I was looking at his playing profile. Yeah, are you a Dodgers fan?
Nah. There's no way I would be.
Are you a Dodgers fan like you're a Chiefs fan?
What does that mean? Wait a second.
It means they're good right now and you like them.
I mean, the Dodgers are always pretty good.
Yeah, well, the Dodgers are good on paper right now.
That is true. As I've
Fair
learned
point.
in this NFL season, you need to execute on being good.
You definitely do. A lot of teams been not looking too hot.
But yeah, that's a lot of money just to hit the ball. I don't know. Is that worth it? I know MLB contracts tend to be a lot of money.
He's the best player in
They're
baseball.
also fully guaranteed.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he eventually he will come back to pitching.
How long is the deal for?
10 years. Well,
10 years.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because each year he gets paid $2 million. The other 68 is deferred to the end of the life of the contract. So he's basically getting $2 million for each year of the first year, and then 68 for however long until all of the money is paid out.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what I read.
That's quite a lot of money. Why is he
So-
deferring?
because he wants all his money after he retires.
Exactly.
And also,
He gets a huge stable paycheck after retirement.
I see.
How old is he now? He's
29.
29. Yeah, so towards
Yeah,
the back
I mean,
end of
that
that
definitely makes
contract, he's
sense.
not going to be doing anything anyway.
How does that affect the team going forward after he leaves with all that deferred money? Like, are they basically doomed after that, or
no.
no?
It's going to be obviously a big hit, but I don't know. The LA Dodgers are like the Yankees of the West Coast, so. But in 10 years, I think the Dodgers are saying we'll have enough money to pay that and it not affect us too bad.
Yeah, all their other big contracts will be up, and I'm sure they'll have some younger guys who they won't have to pay nearly as much.
That too.
That is the hope. Do teams normally leverage the future in baseball, or is it normally just like, is this normal?
It's not the first time it's happened.
Okay.
Yeah, they pay baseball players much later on.
Well, there's the famous what is it, Bobby Bonilla?
Bobby
I don't-
Bonilla, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still getting fucking paid by the Mets or not, but
That one I actually heard mentioned when he got this deal. What's the deal with that?
He gets, I think it's like he gets $1 million every year in sometime in June.
Wow. Okay. How long does that go on for?
I'm not positive.
I was ready for the answer to just be forever.
Oh, it's July 1st is when he gets paid.
Okay.
Until 2035.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's a nice
What?
little income there.
Yeah, $1.25 million for 25 years, starting July 1st, 2011 until July 1st, 2035.
And he just doesn't have to do anything.
No.
Wow. All right. Sign me up for baseball. I chose the wrong sport in life.
Also, he retired in 2001.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, look, just to throw that.
He was playing the long con for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. With that said, though, speaking of long cons, I'd like to point to Pete Carroll, who is now, I believe, 8-0 against the Eagles.
I'd love to see it.
8-0 or 6-0. It's one of those two numbers.
I believe it's 8-0.
Yeah. Yes, he
Regardless.
is 8-0.
Regardless, hasn't lost against the Eagles.
Yep. Which is an amazing award. I wish everyone could say that, but, you know, Pete's my guy. I wish the Jets never fired him after 1 year.
No, the Jets are doing good, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Jets are doing fabulous.
I have so many complaints about the Jets currently.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
I wish I wasn't a Jets fan.
Did you say you wish you were not?
Now I'm confused.
Mern, who are
I'm
you
a-
a fan of?
I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. And
I
a
was ready for
diehard
you.
Zach Wilson fan.
You're such a liar.
You
But
have
we're
no
focusing on
evidence.
Pete right now.
Pete, no, the Seahawks look. I was surprised to see Drew Lock go out there and
I was too. I
not
thought
play awful.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I thought if Gino's penis stopped hurting, he could do it. Because my theory is that Gino will forever balance out at 500. And they were due some wins because they're currently below 500. So I'm like, all right, this is one of them. They're going to win this one. And then Geno Smith, they pan over to him on the sideline, and he's just not dressed. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I I didn't calculate for this. They might lose now. But no.
And that's why I picked Philly. And
Big cock luck. Yeah.
You said he wasn't dressed. I didn't get to watch the whole game. 'cause
Yeah, no, he wasn't
unfortunately I
even
was
dressed.
working. He was active though.
So, reportedly, that's what got me. It was either Samini or the other one. And one of them reported, like, right before the game that Gino would be active and playing.
Yeah, I had to switch your pick for the pick'ems.
No,
too.
you did not, because I was correct regardless.
Seahawks definitely look good.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. Their defense is stout after they benched Jamal Adams. That was a wise choice by them.
Definitely was.
We'll get to it later, my issues with Joe Douglas, but I'll give him a nice pat on the back. It was a great job trading him away for 2 firsts. Just for him to be a healthy scratch for the Seahawks.
What did you get for the 2 firsts?
Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson.
Okay, that's a fantastic.
Yeah, they won.
FYI, in my TFT game, I went from last place to now I'm in the top 4.
I cannot believe you tried to lie to us and say that you were not in a TFT game.
I was not doing any of the sort.
Time elapsed 28 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely would have paused us starting for that, but all right.
It's perfectly
whatever.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't know if the Seahawks will make the playoffs or anything, but they're a scrappy little unit.
I was looking at it before.
They are.
It might be difficult, but I mean,
They're
they're definitely looking like one of the stronger teams in the NFC.
are they one of
At
the?
least not in the playoffs already.
They're in the hunt, right? They're not in one of the wild card seats currently. I'll check that.
Yeah, they're in the hunt.
Yeah, and are they a game behind the Rams or two?
Mm.
I'm currently looking.
Well, is in that division.
The
They are in
Seahawks
that division.
division?
Niners,
The Rams, the 49ers, and them.
and the Cardinals.
They don't exist.
They do it. We're gonna touch on them too. Don't you worry. But they do exist. All right, I've pulled up the NFC and the AFC.
Oh, look at that. The AFC South is.
Yeah, the NFC East, both, or two teams I should say, not both. Although if you really think about it, it's basically both. The other two teams don't really exist. But they both clinched their spots, the Eagles and the Cowboys. And this raises the question, can the Eagles lose to the Giants?
No.
No, you don't think? You don't believe in Tommy Cutlets?
No.
No, they can definitely lose. I doubt it.
Yeah, if so I think I saw something where like was it the 49ers who said that they figured out the or Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that is the report.
If everyone else has figured out, if the Giants have also figured it out, then yes.
I mean, maybe the Cowboys told him, because according to Nick Bosa, they told the Cowboys what the blueprint was after the Niners claimed it.
That would benefit the Cowboys to do that.
Related to that, how do you want this podcast to be? Do I need to censor myself?
Well, I mean, like, don't say any slurs.
I've never said a.
I don't think you have. I was just saying, like, the language is pretty open, but don't be like the Steelers running back and call for a race war Pro Bowl.
Why not?
Why?
That would literally be more interesting than
While fumbling.
While he typed out that tweet, he was fumbling. But yeah, no, you're open to say whatever you want as long as it's not a slur.
I'm gonna say, are we sure the blueprint for Nick Bosa isn't the color of his skin?
I think so. I can't confirm that, but I think that one might be.
Because remember, he only plays well against black quarterbacks.
Can you show me a statistical chart? I feel like this is overblown.
There was someone released the
I need a chart like Kyler Murray when COD has a double XP weekend or not. I need like that. Nick Bosa versus white quarterback and black quarterback.
I can never get them right, but Nick is on the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Joey is the one trapped in hell.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about them too.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, absolutely.
We're gonna be talking about the coaches. I have a tier list that we're all gonna be sitting and discussing on later.
That means we're gonna reference Jacksonville.
Yes, we are. We will be there. But we'll shoot through the rest of the games here.
Who have not been playing very well lately, but I'm still happy for that comeback win.
I'd definitely love to know more about your thoughts. But what other teams? The Niners continue to win. I mean, not that it was shocking against the Arizona Cardinals, but they did do that.
Yeah, hey,
Niners.
they unlike some teams, they're winning the games they're supposed to win. So
Exactly.
you can't be upset about it.
And they don't lose games that you think they should win, unlike some other teams.
They're just winning everything.
Exactly. Besides those 3 games.
Yeah, they
Like-
kind of sputtered, and then for like 3 games, and then they played Jacksonville and stomped the Jags into the ground.
That's one way to recover.
True.
I respect it. Everyone needs a bounce back game.
Absolutely.
Speaking of bounce back games, though, going blown out 0-3 to scoring 63 points. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, definitely
Can-
another shock.
Can this be replicated? Like, I know Staley's an idiot, and he'll be
Only
coach of the
if-
year in the XFL.
Brandon, I'm calling the defense. Staley is calling the defense. I don't know. If you
I'm
picked it up,
going to
but I
be
was
calling the defense.
poking the desk like he did in that press conference.
You can stop asking. Yeah, I mean, like, even for Staley, like, I was never bought into the idea that he was, like, the future of defense. He's coaching where the game is going, rah-rah. But my goodness, 63 points?
Yeah.
He just lost the locker room completely.
Seems like it. Every time they lose, someone posts the one clip of him talking to the locker room where he says, like, is anyone shocked by what happened?
Nope.
Nope.
Ooh,
I wonder if
they,
he was shocked that he was fired.
They gave up 21 points in both the first and second quarter.
It was not good.
No.
I was really hoping that they would continue that trend, though, to the next, and we would see an 80. I was workshopping 80 names, 80 evisceration. I liked that one a lot. 80 erasure. I wanted it so bad, but they decided to pull off. They pulled all the starters. They just let the Chargers get away.
And they still, if you just took away the points from the first and second quarter, they still would have tied.
Yep.
That's such a bad look.
That's why he's fired. I honestly think he should have been fired like 2 times prior anyway. One of them was also a Raiders situation where it seemed like they were okay with tying and then both making it to the playoffs and screwing over the Steelers. That was back in 21, I think. Right at the end of the season. It looked like their interim
Yeah.
at the time
They
was
wanted-
okay.
They
Yeah.
wanted the tie.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for the tie, and then Staley, in his infinite wisdom, was like, all right, we're going to go for it right here. So they decided, all right, never mind, fuck you then. And they won. And Staley lost. In my opinion, like, that should have been fireable. Like, it should have been over for him right there. Like,
yeah.
you could have had the playoffs. They were handing it to you, and you decided to slap them in the face, and then you lost? Like, that's so embarrassing. And then the second one, Patrick, you'd be very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
The failure against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd be up, what was it, 27-0?
It was 27-0. The Jags did score a touchdown just before the end of the second quarter with 20. I actually had the box score up.
Thank you.
And with 24 seconds left, and then that made it 27-7. Midway through the third quarter, Jacksonville scores another touchdown. Chargers got a field goal, and then just before the end of the third quarter, another touchdown by the Jags. So then it was at the end of the third quarter, it went from 27-0 to 30-20.
Yep.
Ooh.
And then touchdown, and then finally at the end of the game, field goal to win.
Yeah, that is a fireable offense as well. So he was living on borrowed time as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. The fact, I mean, that just speaks to Dean Spanos and the fact that the Spanos family just allows failure to continue over there. they just don't care. But I mean,
They
the
have a
amount of
good
time that he
relationship
had,
with failure.
they really do.
And they really just hate success. Like, I don't know if anybody remembers Marty Schottenheimer. He went 14-2, but
Didn't they fire him?
they fired him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they hate success. They can't win. Any wins that are sizable and apparent must be beaten down next year. We got to ruin our legacy of franchise guys. Phillip Rivers, Justin Herbert's probably never going to win a Super Bowl unless this Bill Belichick rumor is true, which we'll get to. But I don't know. I feel kind of bad for Herbert because he's just gonna have his whole life wasted there. Chargers.
They have too many weapons to not be winning.
They rarely get to play on the field at the same time, which is another issue.
Yeah. But when they're there, they look so good sometimes.
Yeah.
At least offensively, they look good, and it's just
It's a real credit to Herbert because the one time he's not there, this happens.
Yeah, like if Herbert's not there, like you really see how just deflated the whole team is.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler hasn't looked very good in the last couple of weeks.
Is he nursing an injury? I feel like I had heard that at one point. Like he's not 100.
He may have gotten hurt earlier in the season.
Maybe that's what it was.
I think.
It's the Chargers. Everyone's hurt.
True. Or on steroids like years ago.
He missed weeks 2 through 5, but they had a bye in week 5, so there should have been some extra time.
Yeah.
But since then, it doesn't seem like.
Funnily enough, I think he's gonna be a free agent after this year, and he hasn't done anything.
Yep.
He's not getting paid.
Probably not. I mean, that's how it goes. Be thrown out into the ether. But yeah, they they had a very ugly loss. Does anyone have any faith in them to beat the Bills?
No.
Oh, going back to what you were
not after what the Bills just did. No.
Talking about where they fired that coach. You know, in the NBA, there was a coach who won Coach of the Year and then was fired right after that.
I feel like I remember that. Like I heard about that through someone.
I forgot
some teams just like to fire people. I don't know why.
Was it Tyronn Lue? Is that who it was?
No, it was the Toronto Raptors coach. I can't remember his name.
Oh, not Nick Nurse.
Was it Toronto Raptors coach? It's either Toronto Raptors or Bucks.
I'm not sure.
Definitely not Nick. Well, it wasn't. It was Dwayne Casey. He won it in 2018, and then the Raptors fired him. But then after that, they won the championship. So honestly, don't know.
Good call. I think so.
Yep. They could tell. They could smell something out. Something was wrong there. Speaking of
their team wasn't even that good. They just picked up somebody from a trade.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. But speaking of something being wrong there, Pittsburgh giving up a 2-score game and getting blown out somehow by Gardner Minshew. Patrick, as a Gardner Minshew expert yourself, how do you feel about this?
Yes. I feel like I kind of saw this coming. Just with how not necessarily with how good Minshew is, which he is very good. He's very underrated, and he could be a starter.
Do you think he's getting it? Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think
somewhere.
He's going to get a starter position next year?
You know, maybe. I feel like he could, but I think his role is he's more comfortable as a backup.
can let loose.
Yeah. But with like the Steelers had this reportedly very stout defense, not so much the offense has been terrible, and
Yeah.
the defense has just been really flat lately.
Yeah, as a Jets fan, I can tell you it's really hard to lose when your offense is god awful.
Yeah, and I remember those years in Jacksonville when that offense was terrible and the defense was great, but like it was only a matter of time before the defense just got fed up.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. I mean, the way Pittsburgh was winning wasn't sustainable. They were getting outscored offensively and still winning games because of their defensive scores. Like, that's not a sustainable way to win. You're not going to do that every single game.
Right, and like Tree has said, urinating Tree has said, they've won either through ref ball, fluke bullshit. Sorry if cursing's not allowed, but
No, we're good.
fluke bullshit or high end talent, and then like if one of those three things doesn't show up, then they're not going to win.
Yeah, the high end talent, especially as of late, has not shown up. They've been asleep.
Well, that's what happens when you basically go the entirety of the season playing the way they do.
Yeah,
That's something definitely good to have going into the playoffs. But if your guys are exhausted by the time you get there,
got to make it there first. Yeah.
yeah. What was it for?
Even then, I mean, I'm not sure. One, Pittsburgh's even going to clinch a playoff spot. They're out of their wild card position now, right?
I believe
I believe so. I had it pulled up earlier. The
Yeah, they are.
Steelers are. Yeah, they're in the hunt. On the bubble, as this one calls it. Okay. But yeah, they're far back there too. The Bills have now leapfrogged them. The Texans are ahead on that, and then the current wild card spots are the Browns, the Bengals, and the Colts. Which I kind of wanted to just stay that way, to be honest. I love Miracle Man, elite quarterback Joe Flacco. I'm happy that he's winning games, even though he's throwing 3 picks a game.
It's just good to see.
Yeah, I mean, once he gets to the playoffs, he's a different monster entirely.
I mean, a W is a W.
True. I mean, like if you're winning, you're winning. But once he hits the playoffs, he stops throwing those picks and he starts winning even more. So I hope the Browns can hold on to that. I don't remember who the Browns play this week off the top of my head, but I think it was a game they could actually lose.
Play Chicago.
They just played Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
They played the Texans.
Yeah, that's a game they could actually lose. I don't know if CJ Stroud will be off concussion protocol or not. But that's definitely a game where you're not going to be able to get away with throwing 3 picks.
No.
But yeah, I'm happy for them for as long as they can hold on to that. The Bengals, it's scrappy team, continuously winning games, even though they've lost their star quarterback. They've lost other pieces. They keep finding ways to win, and I find that endearing. I'm just not sure if they can do much more than they have been. Like Jake Browning is impressive enough, but I don't know what the ceiling is for that. How do you guys feel about Browning?
I already told you. Well, I said here too. The Bengals should have forced Joe Burrow to sit.
Yeah.
The first half of the season.
I mean, especially with how competent their backup seems to be. Like they probably would have won some of those games and been sizably ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, them forcing Joe Burrow out there was definitely a miscalculation. Cost them a lot.
They forced him out there.
Well, either he forced himself. It's hard to tell, but
quarterbacks do this thing a lot where they don't sit out games that they should sit out just because they want to play. You know, the Baker Mayfields of the world.
Yeah. What would be really bad though?
And then Baker found out the Browns didn't deserve him.
They deserved elite quarterback Joe Flacco instead.
They deserved Deshaun Watson. not taking them to the playoffs.
Sexual predator.
Taking them to
I
those
hope
shoots.
Joe Flacco goes all the way. They win a ring, and Deshaun Watson has to have a ring from not his own play.
Then he'd be getting
just-
paid guaranteed money and have a ring.
Nice for him, but he never got there himself. That's all
He
I
was
want.
carried by elite quarterback Joe Flacco.
Exactly. The Dragon, I think they called him when he had that Fu Manchu. But speaking of Cleveland, the Bears throwing back-to-back ending half picks. Justin Fields. Merton, you're a Justin Fields truther, are you not?
Yeah, sure.
How do you feel about Justin Fields' progress this year?
I feel if the Bears got a good head coach / offensive coordinator and gave him weapons that could hold on to the ball, they'd win more games this season or next season, basically.
You know me, I'm pretty hard on him, but I'm going to give him some credit in that game. That loss was not at all on him. He threw the ball right into his guys' hands multiple times.
That'd
They
be the
didn't want to
first time I
catch
gave
it.
him credit.
This is untrue. I've given him credit before, but I'm giving him credit 100% here. He threw it exactly where it needed to be. He was playing at a high level.
Tyler Scott needs to be kicked off the team. And who's the other one? There was another guy.
Mooney?
Mooney needs to be kicked off the team as well. They just need to be sent packing. They're terrible. They're awful. I don't know how many times someone can put the ball in their hands. They
It
are
wasn't good, yeah.
almost as good as Kadarius Toney.
He throws the ball too hard, Martin.
At least the Chiefs won that game. Those bozos cost them the whole game.
If only he had 2 other DJ Moores on his team.
It would be good.
Or just one.
He'd have 2 targets then at least. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Bears.
That's why in the draft, when they draft Marvin Harrison Jr., I will be
Ooh.
celebrating.
That's spicy. So that was going to be my follow-up question, and this can be for everyone else too. If you disagree with what Merton says here, do you think the Bears are going to keep Justin Fields?
I believe they don't have a choice. Caleb Williams is redeclaring. And
Redeclaring for college.
He's going he's going into the transfer portal and leaving USC. And they could go with Drake May, but then why not just improve the protection and weapons for Justin Fields and win the games that they would have won if he had capable receivers?
Now, where are you getting this information? Because I have not heard this before.
The Caleb Williams going in the
Yeah,
transfer
that
portal.
he's not going to declare for the draft.
Because if you go into the transfer portal, it means you're changing colleges.
Right. But where did you hear? I did not hear that. Where did you hear that?
I heard it from some individuals that are very heavy into the college scene. From sources unconfirmed.
Okay, I found an article here that says that he's not guaranteeing this will be his last college season, which I mean grants credence to what you're saying, but I don't know. I mean, why would you not want to declare?
He's still making a lot of nil money, probably a lot.
Could you not make more if you're in the NFL? Like, you run the risk of looking worse.
But if you maintain your current status and go into the draft next year, you'll make even more money anyway. Because right now, Bryce Young is making more money than, was it Trevor Lawrence? I saw somebody. He's making more money than somebody.
That is absurd.
That is absurd.
That's definitely absurd.
All right, I will get I should have kept this up.
All right, while you find that, how about the Falcons losing to the Panthers there? Bryce Young getting his second league victory.
I don't.
Cementing.
Wasn't it with 3
cementing.
field goals?
Yeah,
I don't think he threw a single touchdown. Yeah.
I really don't want to talk about the Panthers.
I
but-
mean, there's
he
not a
didn't throw
whole
any
lot to
picks.
talk about. This is more me saying that Arthur Smith is a complete retard. He is out of his depth. He mismanages his whole team. He should be fired ASAP, but we'll get to that later.
I was saying Arthur Smith should be gone. He has actually led to the downfall of the Falcons because I mean they were already on the downward spiral when they lost Kyle Shanahan and lost the Super Bowl. But,
Yeah, it was definitely downhill from there.
but they should be winning the division, honestly.
Yeah, if they had a real coach, I think, and a real quarterback, that's probably their bigger issue, to be honest. Is
They
they're
could win
not
the division
quarterback.
with a solid game manager who doesn't turn the ball over multiple times.
I mean, the issue is their quarterback right now isn't even that. He's not an NFL quarterback. He manages sometimes, but even then, like, his coach doesn't give him tools in the game to properly manage because he can't figure out how to play London and Pitts and the rest of them in a successful way. Like, it's raining, it's a monsoon outside, and he's like, no, I'm not going to run the ball. I'm going to pass it like 80 times. That's a good idea.
All right, the fact check, by the way. Bryce Young is making more money this year than Jalen Hurts, and so is CJ Stroud.
That's insane.
Only Bryce Young is making more money than Jimmy G. CJ Stroud is just under him.
I mean,
Wow,
Jimmy
right.
G's riding the bench, so that one's probably
Yeah.
deserved.
He used to be a starter, so
Yeah, just because he had his boy
Wrongly.
in the coaching position.
he was wrongly the starter, but
Right.
he shouldn't have even got a job after what he did to the 49ers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he were not in connection with their former coach, he would not have had that position. No one was going to call him up to be a starter. Maybe he'd be a backup somewhere, but no one would want him to be a starter. And even then, I struggle to think that he'd be a backup because, like, a backup, you don't want them to have glass bones, but Jimmy G does.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Peterson.
So I was right. Bryce Young's contract is valued say about 200,000 more than Trevor Lawrence's contract right now. But I think this year or next year should be Trevor Lawrence's extension, so that'll be changed soon.
Yeah.
Next year will be his fourth, and then they can either pick up his fifth-year option or restructure his deal.
I hope
No,
he looks
he's
better
gonna-
next season.
He's going to get the Patrick Mahomes extension.
Like a team-friendly one or the current Patrick Mahomes deal?
I would still say Mahomes' deal isn't that bad.
Not that bad, but the one that he had before was definitely more team-friendly. And then they still did that to him with the wide receivers.
I think Lamar Jackson gets paid more this year and then also next year. I'm not sure. I forgot the details of this.
Definitely looking like he deserves that money.
He
He
does.
Deserves every penny.
Honestly, it seems like he deserves more for what they're putting him through.
What do you
'Cause
mean?
There's no way you don't replace Tyreek Hill because they traded him. You didn't get anything back.
He's got his buddy, his pal, Taylor
Ooh.
Swift's boyfriend.
He's washed.
Whoa!
Like,
Wait a
whoa,
minute.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, wait a
He's the
second.
only good player on that team who isn't Mahomes.
He's washed.
Who doesn't drop the ball?
Washed.
Are you saying that because he flopped against the Patriot? You think he's washed?
No, he's legitimately washed.
He's not
So
washed.
He's old. How about that?
He's not even that. How old is he? Like 36?
He's like 33.
He's not even that
No.
old.
He's too old apparently. He's aged like milk.
Why are you saying it? Like he's still producing? He's the only one who produces on that whole team.
He's
He's
often
he's 34.
he's
Okay.
often injured. He has multiple turnovers sometimes.
Like
he
Kadarius Toney?
He has drops that are uncharacteristic of the old Travis Kelsey. I think at this current time, cause like he's only 34, yeah, but Gronk already retired. He got taken out a while ago.
Because Gronk made his money and then kept getting hurt.
Yeah, Travis Kelsey got his money, but he's getting hurt this season. He wasn't hurt this often, but he wasn't even hurt before.
It's because he's like the whole offense at this point. Like, does he
He
normally get the targets
is
that he's
the
getting?
entire offense.
Yes, he gets about 100 targets a season.
He only missed one game this season.
He's above 100 currently.
Also,
I believe he passed 100 against the Patriots.
So his peak targets is 152. That was in 2022 or last year. But he averages around 135 targets his whole career. Besides the first season he missed due to a knee injury. And then basically his rookie season after that, which he only got 87 targets. But yeah, he might be there, but he isn't producing as the Travis Kelsey of young.
I mean, how much of that is because there's no one else? Like, defenses just need to realize. Like, even Belichick was saying in his presser before the game, like, you gotta stop Kelsey. That Kelsey guy is pretty good. You gotta stop him. And that's all he would keep saying over and over is Mahomes and Kelsey. You gotta stop him. Like, anyone can figure that out. And there's no one,
Yeah,
like,
just
taking the pressure off of him.
Just double
Yeah.
Kelsey, stop the occasional run from Pacheco, and there. done.
It's been even worse these past few weeks because Pacheco hasn't been playing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Kelsey's special, unique ability was how he could get open no matter what. If he's not getting open now to get the pressure off of Mahomes, to get somebody who can actually catch the ball, then he's just not.
I mean, that's the
what he's-
problem, though.
Yeah, how is he supposed to get open when the defense is literally only focused on him?
You could put,
don't have
like,
to worry about that
all
single
11
other
guys
Okay,
on the
hold on.
defense on Kelsey.
Remember, Tyreek Hill's been now off the Chiefs for a while now.
Yeah, but then they had Juju. Like, Juju
is-
could at least catch.
Juju is at best a wide receiver too. He's always been that.
And that's all he had to do with Travis Kelsey. He was never going to be Mahomes' number one target anyway. But now that you have Brick Hands, Kadarius Toney, and Sky Moore, and I don't remember the Rice one's first name.
Rice.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason for Travis Kelsey to be open because none of them have to be blocked.
The problem is McCole Hardman.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He
The
died.
Jets picked him up.
happened
He could do nothing there. He couldn't even find the field on the Jets. And our wide receiver core is Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb. Like, if he can't find the field with them on the team, like, there's something wrong with him. And he still can't find the field on the Chiefs.
He died in 2021.
I don't know what happened to him.
You're just seeing a ghost on the field. He doesn't exist. I mean, he's not even on the field. But
He's a collective psychosis of all
Also,
on viewers.
Side note, didn't Kansas City give up a first for Kadarius Toney to the Giants?
Did they? I thought it was a second, but I can double check that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the trade, but the Giants fans. I do
I
remember.
think it was a
Giants fans
second.
saying thank you for taking him off our hands or something of the line.
Oh yeah, no, the Giants fan, that Jordan, you can speak to this. They knew he was a bum.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a little harder to tell on the Giants because there was no passing offense. But
Yeah, even now it's hard to tell. You have
the chances he did get on the Giants, he did not do much with it.
Yep.
Unfortunately. No, fortunately, because we definitely got better without him.
This is the first time I'm hearing you say you're a Giants fan.
I have always been a Giants fan. Unlike you and your chiefdom / Jets fandom. I don't even know anymore.
I've been following the Chiefs since I was conceived.
Really?
Really?
So how do you get into the Jets? Because
Like,
there's
even
no
when
reason
they
to
were
be
ass?
a fan there.
Because Zach Wilson is there. Why else would I not be a Jets fan?
Not for long.
Yeah, count your days.
I sure am. I'm hoping every single day.
I'm hoping he gets out of there too. He needs a team that deserves him.
Yeah, so you can ride the bench there, get them some coffee, fill up the water cooler.
Since we're talking about Zach Wilson, can we talk about the Jets for a second?
Yeah, we can. I've been avoiding it. Yeah, they lost to Miami, 0-30.
But what is the offensive game plan here? Because I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I don't think early on, Nathaniel Hackett's systems seem to be helping Zach. Zach's issues are mental. Zach can make a lot of good throws, but he doesn't have the brain cells to rub together to make them. Like, he's got physical talent for days, and that's probably why scouts bought into the idea that he could be Mormon Mahomes. But the issue with him is, at BYU, he had an impenetrable line in the year that he declared for the draft, because all he had to play was other schools that were in BYU's conference. He didn't have to play anyone difficult. So the line never got penetrated. He had 10, 11 seconds to throw to a guy downfield who's wide ass open, not even close to being covered. And people are like, oh yeah, that's replicable in the NFL. Yeah, let's draft him.
For sure.
But he made one read almost every time. Sometimes he'd have two reads on a play, but almost every time his first read was open, he'd just throw to him. So he never had to process. He never had to read a defense. It was an accident waiting to happen, and it didn't matter who drafted him. He wasn't going to succeed.
Right into that trap.
We had Sam Darnold. We didn't have to do that. Sam Darnold was still on a rookie deal. We didn't need to draft him.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Like, Sam Darnold's not perfect. I like Sam. I liked Sam back then. I didn't think he was like the best quarterback, but I thought he was serviceable. I thought he was like Mark Sanchez. Like, you can win with a Mark Sanchez.
Is not a high bar though.
No, it's not. But like, they made it to back-to-back AFC Championship games. Like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And if we had, as the Niners now have, if we had Sam Darnold backing up Aaron Rodgers, we'd probably have 3 or 4 more wins.
Yeah.
Like, Sam Darnold is better than Zach Wilson. At least Sam had, like, flashes. Like, he was dueling Aaron Rodgers sometimes. He had, like, a stretch of 3 or 4 good games in his rookie year. And what I think really messed him up was hiring Adam Gase, that stupid moron who's not even in the league anymore.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah, if they had just stayed with Todd Bowles, maybe it would have been okay. I don't know. His rookie year was sort of turning around with Bowles. Maybe it would have been fine. I don't know. But with Saleh and his defense, it would probably be lights out. Sam Darnold might be in the conversation for, like, game manager of the year.
All right, I was questioning where you were going with that.
Nope. I wasn't going to call him MVP or anything.
I was a little scared.
No.
Just game manager of the year.
Okay, but see, this is what I don't get. With all that being said about the Jets quarterbacks and underperforming, I guess that's an understatement, but
no.
Why, literally, in this game, 30-0, you have, what is that, 12 rushes, and you're playing Trevor Siemian and Zach Wilson at QB.
Yeah, the line was non-existent. They surprisingly this time they didn't intend to play Trevor Siemian. This was due to injury this time.
Yeah. But I mean, still, as bad as the line can be, 12 rushes when your QB is Trevor Siemian.
Yeah,
when you have Breece
I
Hall and Dalvin Cook. I know Dalvin Cook's not what
I
he
don't
was.
even think Cook is that bad. I think the
No, I don't
issue
think he
is
is
that
either.
we don't use him correctly. The line is terrible. Like, why don't we have that 2 running back package ever? Like, we've done that like twice this whole season, and I don't understand it.
Well, because it seems like just in general, I don't. For some reason, you guys don't like to run the ball.
Like we should, but also it becomes extremely predictable because our line is bad. So instantly the sacking and the pressure is on top of the running back before they can even like cross field. So we lose, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I guess on 3rd and 9 we have to run a pass play now." And then Zach Wilson either airs it out to nobody, dirts it into the ground, or whatever else he does. Not an interception this time because he's keeping those down. He fumbles instead. There's just like no winning formula. And part of me is like, well, what is happening in practice? Like, what are you discussing? But at the other part, it's like, all right, the line is so bad and the QB play is so bad. Like, is there even an ability to have a plan?
Just run the Wildcat.
I guess so.
Just get the QB out of there.
Like, I kind of get it. Like, you want to run what you think Zach Wilson can pull off. And like we discussed, like, he can't do 3-4 reads. He's got to throw it out to his first guy, basically. But if you know he's having issues with that, why are you not doing jet sweeps? Why are you not running him out of the backfield from a wide receiver? Why do you not have RPOs? Like, I don't understand where the game plan is coming in because it's basically run, pass on every single down.
Have you what?
That sounds familiar.
Yes, you're familiar with Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, like, oh, Blake Bortles is struggling. But we have Leonard Fournette as the running back. Let's run it twice and then throw. And on 3rd and 9, and it's no wonder that we can't convert. Or
Yeah.
Bortles gets pressured and throws a pick.
Yep, the same thing is happening. Sans the pick. Now it's just fumbles. Zach will fumble the ball.
Bortles
And normally he will not
allergic.
recover.
He's just allergic to the football. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a report from Diana Rossini saying that Zach was refusing to play. I'm kind of wondering if this whole season he's been trying to like play as passively as possible just to not get hurt.
Well, wasn't that from a couple of weeks ago?
2 now, I think.
2. That was what, after they benched him?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I mean, for all the shit he's gotten, I mean, I get it. After you play awful, you get benched, and then
it's happened to him before. It's also his job. Like, you can't just be like, all right, well, you guys don't deserve me when you're playing as like the 32nd worst quarterback in the league. Like, there are reasons he was benched.
Oh no, absolutely. But then, for all the talk he was given and all the shit they put on him, to then go out the next week and be like, yeah, no, this is the guy we want to go with. Just like, well, now you've kind of ruined the mood of, anything he had going for him.
Saleh said it weeks before that Zach gives us the best chance to win. No one wanted to believe it because he was awful. But it's true because the other 2 quarterbacks behind him, Tim Boyle, non-existent guy, shouldn't have ever been on an NFL team at all.
No.
He was bad in college even. Like, I don't understand how he made it to the NFL. And then
Hackett's the problem.
Well, we can go into that in a second. But the other quarterback that we had in Trevor Siemian, like he got beat out by Browning, and Browning is clearly showing why he beat him out.
Yeah.
Like it's just not good. And we signed somehow the 2 quarterbacks in the league who are worse than Zach Wilson. And I have to feel like in some ways it was all done to try to protect Zach Wilson's ego because it reportedly is very fragile. And when he was benched for Mike White, like that apparently shattered him and he was broken. And so much so that they didn't even offer Mike White a deal this year. Like, they just let him walk. They weren't like, thanks for all you did for us. Thanks for that clutch game against the Bears. And sorry, Braxton Berrios dropped it against the Vikings. And they just sent him on his way. And they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. We don't need you anymore. Like, that was the first mistake. Joe Flacco, we didn't call him back. Like, he was a corpse behind our line, but he's winning with the Browns.
Yeah, clearly he still had something left.
Yep. And before he signed with the Rams, Carson Wentz's agent called up the Jets twice. He's like, do you want me? Are you sure you don't want me? Like, it's not going so well.
Carson Wentz definitely would have been a nice addition to the Jets team.
It probably would have like 3 or 4 more wins.
Or at least better than what they currently have in Zach.
Yeah. It seems like they intentionally just signed people not to hurt Zach's feelings.
But that's the part that makes like the least amount of sense. Like if his ego is that bad and if he still plays like shit, why even expect him to start any games?
I have no idea. I mean, you could have seen this last year when he ended up benched. Like, he's never finished a season. He's never played all 17 games because of either he sucks or he gets injured. Like, it's not a winning formula. And for whatever reason, the front office was like, yeah, no, this will be fine, though. We'll have our awful offensive line with an aging Dwayne Brown on left tackle. It'll be okay. Oh, no, Aaron Rodgers is down on the 4th play because Dwayne Brown let up coverage. Oops. Like, it was so predictable, and yet somehow no one did anything.
Yeah.
But to Hackett now, Merton. Nathaniel Hackett is a man who is good friends with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers loves Nathaniel Hackett. Aaron Rodgers has won 2 MVPs with Nathaniel Hackett. I think Aaron Rodgers is just very talented, and this is an Adam Gase with Peyton Manning situation all over again. With Peyton Manning, Adam Gase, he looks okay. They run the best offense in that season. They run all the way up to the Super Bowl until they run into the Legion of Boom and die. And I feel like Nathaniel Hackett is sort of the same way. He has this one quarterback that his system works with, and no one else.
Unless they just clone Peyton Manning.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that is success. Like, you can't really get success if your system only works for one guy. That might just be the one guy. No, I won't even say that might be. That's just the one guy being really good.
Aaron had success without Nathaniel Hackett.
Yes, he's won 2 other MVPs without him. Yeah.
I mean, so it's not Nathaniel Hackett. It's just Aaron Rodgers being really good.
Yeah. I mean, with that all said, though, like he can clearly produce at a very high level with Nathaniel Hackett. So for that reason, he might stick around. Do I want that? Do I like that? Probably not. But I mean, who else are you going to hire? If it all goes wrong with the Jets, like they're going to blow it up. So what OC wants to jump onto that train?
What other quarterbacks were available? Like, was there literally no one? If you had
before the season,
Hackett,
Oh wait, OC or quarterback? You said quarterback.
Yeah. What? No, but
yes, OC.
We talked about this before. There was a package deal. You wanted Aaron Rodgers getting at Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Right.
What other quarterbacks were available? Because Nathaniel Hackett is not the guy. Never led a well offense. He just had in his career. The only time he's had a good offense is when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. So,
Well, the Blake
what
Bortles
other?
one wasn't that bad when he made it to the AFC Championship game.
But that
But
was
Hold
also being
on,
carried by
but
that
hold on. Yeah, Patrick
2017
said
defense.
right.
that was fully carried by the defense and James Robinson, I think, right? The
No,
running back,
it was Leonard
but
Fournette.
Fournette.
Fournette. Yeah.
Fournette, yeah, the one before him. Yeah, that had about 40. Blake Bortles had about 25% to do with that season.
Yeah.
Now, when they got to the playoffs, Blake did well. Like he in the Bills wild card game, the defense did their defense thing, and he just didn't turn the ball over and threw one touchdown pass. And then they went into Pittsburgh, and he balled out. I like during that year, I think I can count on one hand the number of good games that Blake had. He had like a stretch of I think 3 or 4 games in the regular season where he played really well. Like it's like okay, like I saw that and it was consecutive games. And I was like, okay, finally we have our franchise quarterback.
Yes. Blake
He got
Bortles.
he got tricked.
Blake Bortles.
Yeah,
Uh,
he tricked everybody because then after that year he got giant contract.
He sure did. But to go back to Hackett, though, in Green Bay in those 2 seasons when Aaron won his back-to-back MVPs, they were leading the league in red zone scoring percentage by a wide margin. And then after he left, it went down. So there is something that he's adding to the offense. Whether it's his calling ability, though, that is, I think, the question.
what 2 years was it?
What was that? Was that 20 and 21? I think that was.
My
21.
question is, what do him and Rodgers have together that he can't have with like Zach Wilson? I mean, not Trevor Siemian, so I guess just Zach Wilson. Considering they have Aaron Rodgers as well, it's not like they just have Nathaniel Hackett, and it's like he's trying to use a formula without the base of it, without Aaron Rodgers. He has Aaron Rodgers there too. Where's the miscommunication to Zach Wilson where they can't figure out some scenario where they can make this work?
So from what I have heard, it's sort of a 2-pronged issue. Aaron will have 2 plays called to him by Hackett, or I guess LaFleur when they were in Green Bay. And he will decide which one of those through audibles. And it's not really up to Hackett to decide which one's happening. He just gets 2 plays given to him, and Rodgers decides. So Wilson's discretion is the first issue in that, because he either doesn't pick the right one, or it's all up to Hackett to pick.
Yeah.
It's unclear which one is happening currently with the Jets. The second one being Zach's decision making. Aaron Rodgers does a lot of audibling at the line to adjust the line itself to call out protections. Zach cannot read a defense. This was an issue all the way back at BYU. He cannot do it. So his inability to do that throws off the timing scheme, which is supposed to be the big thing in Hackett's offensive scheme. It's supposed to be timing. You need to get your reads done quickly. You need to move quickly. You need to throw it quickly. Zach can't do any of that.
Okay. That it's really insightful. But
it's honestly a terrible pairing.
We knew he couldn't do that last year though, but it feels like there's been like zero improvement.
I will say there's slightly some, because now he actually has like a game he can hang his hat on where like he actually sort of played well. But I chalk that more up to the fact that the Texans run Saleh's defensive scheme, but with worse players. So like he's been practicing against that scheme for 3 years. I would hope he'd play well against it.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's an issue that needs to. I mean, it doesn't need to get fixed anymore.
But yeah, it gets fixed by trading him away, and we never see him ever again.
But then who do you keep Simeon as a backup?
No, we need to go out there and we need to pay the most for a backup quarterback. We need to get Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett, anyone else, Jake Browning. Yep, Jake Browning, my man. We need to go out there and we need to get someone. And then the third thing we need to do is in the later rounds. Jones? No, his contract's too expensive to be a backup. That's going to be the issue for the Giants, and we can get to that because I've been dominating this and I apologize, but
Oh, it's fine, but we need to circle back to something we were talking about earlier.
I'll just finish the thought of you need to get a backup, a sizable one with a proven track record, and then you need to sign a rookie to sit behind Rodgers for like 3 years. Jordan Travis is a name that I hear thrown around a lot. I think he's the quarterback for FSU. He was hurt, so that'll probably hurt like his pro day. And it'll probably hurt his combine. He probably might not even attend the combine because of his injury, but that might work in the Jets' favor because they currently don't have a second-round pick. What was your question, though, Merton?
So going back to the Nathaniel Hackett thing, you were talking about in the Aaron Rodgers 2 MVP years, you said they led the league in red zone scoring?
I believe so. It's some red zone percentage. If it wasn't scoring, it was some sort of red zone success.
Did it also take into account the fact that Devontae Adams was no longer on the team after those 2 years?
No, it did not. That is a slight factor, of course.
So Aaron Rodgers' biggest and best target was no longer there. And
Correct.
They've never replaced Aaron Rodgers' targets ever in his year with the Packers.
Well, the hope was that what's his face was going to be his backup, his new Devontae Adams. Not on the Jets. The Garrett Wilson is the thought for that one, but on the Packers, they drafted that rookie wide receiver. I'm blanking on his name, but they were hoping that he would be the guy.
Christian Watson, who they drafted in I forgot what round.
Yeah, Christian Watson.
Couldn't be a first-round pick.
No, the Packers don't take wide receivers in the first round.
He was on the Lions. Wait. Traded by Lions. Oh, no, the pick was traded by Lions.
Yeah.
Who eventually got Jameson Williams. So, that's interesting. But, yeah, Christian Watson is not a replacement for Devontae. But, yeah, I feel like there's some other factors there. Covering up the inadequacies of Nathaniel Hackett.
I mean, definitely is a possibility, and I'm no Hackett truther or anything like that. I just think he could be fine with Rodgers, and if Rodgers, it's so hard to say.
Is audibling out of it and fixing all of his plays. First of all, then there's no reason.
Presumably, he's audibling into another Nathaniel Hackett designed play, though. Like, I do know that Rodgers, when LaFleur first replaced McCarthy in Green Bay, Rodgers used to audible out of LaFleur's plays into McCarthy plays. Bless you. But I don't think he did that. I think he just went from one Hackett design play to another one. But with that said, if Mike McCarthy is somehow fired because the Cowboys once again lose in the divisional round, I'd be happy to take him.
I think anybody would.
Yeah. Not really a hot take.
I think he would probably just take the head coaching job in Carolina before he took a OC job, though.
I don't think the Carolina job's very attractive.
What?
It's not.
You have to deal with that lunatic of an owner, a quarterback who might be a bigger bust than Zach Wilson. That is to be seen.
I just think that McCarthy wouldn't go back to being an OC. He's been a head coach too long.
I'd honestly take him. If it means parting with Saleh, maybe that's fine. Rodgers has his only Super Bowl with McCarthy.
Would Rodgers take McCarthy back?
Yeah, he loves McCarthy. Like I said, he used to audible into McCarthy's plays. Like, he loves McCarthy.
I don't think McCarthy would change from a head coach to an offensive coordinator.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he needs to be the head coach, yeah, no, that if that's what needs to be done, then okay.
I think Saleh being demoted to a defensive coordinator would be great.
I don't know if he'd be okay with that, but I mean, like, if it happens, it happens.
He's been questionable.
I think, you know, for what he's been given, I think he's okay. I have my issues with him, but I think he's learned quite a bit in this season. I would like to see what he does with literally not the worst quarterback play in the league.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Because his defense balls out. Like,
yeah.
even in the 30-0 loss, like, I posted it in here for reference for myself, but Miami, their worst starting field position after initial kickoff was at their own 35. Like, that was the worst they started with. Sometimes it was half field. Sometimes it was the Jets 1. Like, what can you do as the defense at that point? We should be glad they didn't score 70 on us like the Broncos. Like, a lot of Jets fans want to say that this was an example of the defense giving up. Like, I didn't see that this game. I saw the offense being awful all game, and the defense trying their absolute hardest to make something out of negative. Not even nothing. Just things are being taken away from them. It's so bad.
Yeah. And then they just got completely just worn out, and then that's
when,
like, that defense is great, but they're also human.
Exactly.
I wish the NFL had a good commissioner.
Me too. I don't like Roger Goodell.
Because all MetLife Stadium games should be banned, first of all. No one should be forced to play there.
I mean, all stadiums should have grass, to be honest, but MetLife is pretty terrible. It's a terrible experience to go to, too. Jordan, you were there recently, more recently than I.
Yes.
Was this your first trip to MetLife?
It was not. This was my third trip.
Okay. Do you like it? Because I don't.
Like it how?
The fan experience. When you go there, you're like, oh, man, I can't wait to be at MetLife Stadium and sit in traffic for 3 hours after the game ends.
I don't think I was in traffic when I was there.
Yeah, and I think there's only one time when there was... well, I guess that's because they're terrible.
There is
some effect on the amount of traffic there is.
Whoa. I went there when Cam Newton played the Jets. So...
Did all the Jets fans leave early because... Wait, was this Patriots Cam Newton or Panthers Cam Newton?
Yeah.
It was Panthers Cam Newton.
Okay.
Why would I see the Patriots play?
Because now he plays them twice, so there was a more likely chance that it was one of those.
No. Ask yourself, why would I go see a Patriots Jets game?
Because you're a huge Patriots fan.
Because you love Cam Newton.
That is disgusting. I would. Yeah.
Huge Zach Wilson fan.
You knew what was coming.
All right, you know what? Let's move on to a different topic.
By the way,
I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Can we talk about Tommy Cutlets and his pizzeria deal?
What is this pizzeria deal? I don't.
So reportedly, because I want to segue into the Giants anyway, and you can take over after this. But reportedly, according to this, Tommy Cutlets had a deal with. Story isn't loaded. Awkward. But he had a deal with a pizzeria, a local pizzeria, and his fee was $10K, and he doubled it after he won against the Cheeseheads themselves, Green Bay. He doubled it to $20K, and the pizzeria was like, "That's way too much. We can't do that," and they canceled.
They really?
Yeah. I mean, $20K is a lot of money.
No, it is, but.
But reportedly, I saw a follow-up story after we started this that he has changed branding representatives. I don't think that's his agent himself. I think that's someone else. But he has apparently changed that, and he's working to not have this happen again.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. He's still just a backup QB. So
Yeah, I get the desire to want to get your bag when you're an undrafted free agent.
yeah, but I mean, honestly, the future for him is still very much up in the air with Daniel Jones, and if we keep Tyrod Taylor, who knows?
This is his year. His contract.
Yeah. Wait, who?
Tyrod.
Oh yeah, well,
Yep.
I
So
forgot
I
Tyrod
think he's
was one of
probably
the Giants.
gone.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably gone. But yeah, no, it's still very unknown with Daniel Jones because even when he is healthy, he's mediocre at best.
Tyrod Taylor got cheated out of a win against the Bills.
True. Yeah, they definitely should have won that game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, hey, maybe the Jets pick up Tyrod Taylor. He was
That would be, yeah, no, he's a very serviceable backup. I'd be fine with that.
for how many games did he play?
Was it 3?
3. I think it was
The
3.
Bills, he got knocked out of the Jets game. He came in when Daniel Jones was hurt that first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looked like a serviceable backup QB. Definitely
Did
nothing
he-
to complain about. So I would hope he would go somewhere.
He started
But,
against the Commies too, I think.
Did he?
I think he did that first
yeah,
game. Yeah.
Probably.
By the way, Tyrod has played 7-ish games, but he's only started 2.
Okay.
I mean 3.
He popped in there for a bit against, was it the Saints? Did he get hit in the head with the Saints? I think that was it.
He
Tommy
threw
Cutlets.
3 passes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was this week.
Yeah. If we could pivot to that game though, what happened to the Cutlet magic?
I unfortunately again didn't get to watch most of that game. I was working, sadly. But it seemed, I think from what I did get to see, actually I didn't get to see much, honestly. There wasn't much.
Awful.
There wasn't much that happened for us. I mean, let's see, 2 for 34 with 177 yards is not awful. No turnovers, right?
Did
I
you
don't
say
think so.
2 for 34?
I
20.
feel like you did just say 2 for 34.
Sorry,
I was
20
like,
for 34.
yeah, there's
That's
no
my
way
bad.
that could be right because that's
No.
awful.
No, that's great. It was
I'm not thinking they would have let him throw that many times.
no. 20 for 34, 177 yards. No touchdowns, obviously. No interceptions. I don't know. I feel like he gets the Giants as a whole get a lot of like garbage yards that don't really do much to get us into field goal position, get us closer to the end zone. So I feel like that's probably a lot of what happened. Saquon 9 carries for 14 yards. Not helpful. Seems like the
No.
O-line is. I mean,
What
the O-line.
The fall off of your left tackle has to be documented.
Which one is Justin Pugh?
Justin Pugh's playing. Well, he was playing center. I don't know if he's still
straight
playing
off the
center.
couch.
Yep.
Isn't he a guard? Wait.
I'm checking. Continue.
Yeah, continue.
I have lost my train of thought.
According to this, he is a guard.
Yeah, I was confused.
I mean, he could have been playing center. The amount of times the Giants have probably had to move around their offensive line probably rivals the Jets.
He did have, when we originally signed him, I think he was. I think he was playing tackle, and then our center got injured, and they were like, "So can you play center too, please?" And so yeah, our offensive line still isn't able to get the job done. They have good days, and they have really, really piss poor days. Against the Packers, the O-line, they didn't look amazing, but they looked solid. Gave DeVito a lot of time, gave him a lot of space to move around. It just didn't seem like any of that was going on this week, unfortunately.
I do have to wonder, or maybe ask. It seems statistically Tommy is making more out of less. Like, even though the line is technically worse than when Jones started, he's getting things out faster. He's making better decisions with the ball. What does that say for Jones? I assume he won't be back instantly because he tore his ACL late. Do you think they'll start Tommy and say, this is your job to lose? Or will they start Tommy and say, you're only doing this until Jones is back?
I feel like, Merton, you want to go on this? You can.
No, you got it.
I just feel like probably in typical Giants fashion, we're gonna start off the season. It's gonna be Tommy's job to lose, but then as soon like the week before, as soon as Daniel Jones gets ready to come back, for some reason, I don't know if it's the coaching staff or it's the higher up than that, they're just going to throw in Daniel Jones, and I feel like he's probably not going to look great, but they're going to keep playing him for one or two more games, and then it's going to be all hell breaks loose. We're going to look like the Jets, not really knowing where to go.
Yeah.
And by that time, no, go Merton, step in, please.
I was gonna say it could be not the same quality, but a repeat situation of the Niners, where he just takes the job permanently, and then it's because like I don't think Jimmy G, I don't think Daniel Jones is worth. The contract he got was terrible.
I think everyone thought that. The only people who were in on the hype for Daniel Jones was the Giants front office.
Yeah.
But let's also remember that the 49ers gave Jimmy G a contract he didn't deserve. So I think they fixed their mistake like 49ers did and just have Tommy play in and give him some weapons. But like I said, I feel like it'll be a lesser version of the 49ers considering they don't have Kyle Shanahan. They
Or
don't have a
those pieces.
Debo
Yeah, Wandale
or
Robinson
Ayuk.
is not Ayuk.
They have a
Sorry. He's been working with Tommy.
They have a team that could,
Yeah.
in a couple years, retake the NFC East.
Yeah, I mean it's always in fluctuation. That's the interesting thing about the NFC East is no one really wins it every time.
Yeah.
So it always seems up for grabs unless you're the Red Commies of Washington. Then
Well,
you can't win that.
They did that to themselves.
Yeah, but they have a brand new owner. It's gonna now that he's gone, they can win.
Would you want to
not
get
against
a
many
better
people.
draft pick?
I didn't know how to feel after DeVito won 3 games in a row. Because it was like at some point a draft pick is only going to do so much, and eventually the team has to start coming together and playing as a team and like as a cohesive unit. And I was really torn between a better draft pick and just having better team morale. I think that would probably be better. With
Morale
Daniel
would be
Jones,
better.
yeah, it's better for the team going into next season. This season is obviously just a wash. There's still a chance we make the playoffs.
Yeah, you're still in the hunt.
Yeah, but I think we all know that's not going to happen. So I think it might just be better since Daniel Jones probably isn't going to start next season. It's better to get everybody on the same page now while we can.
Mm-hmm. It's also useful for talent assessment. I know. I don't know how much of an impact he had because I only saw clips, but the tight end was back, right?
Darren Waller.
Yes, Darren Waller.
Yes, Darren. I mean, he hasn't done much because there wasn't a lot going on. But yeah, Daniel Jones when he played, didn't make use of Darren Waller like at all.
They just had him as like a blocking machine.
Yeah, there was nothing happening with Darren Waller, and same thing for most of the season with Jalen Hyatt. And with Tommy DeVito in, Jalen has seen the ball a decent bit more, which is good. I think that'll be definitely good for next season because we still don't really have a wide receiver one. So if we could kind of establish one the rest of this season going into next season with the QB that's going to be starting, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But in the offseason, definitely going to have to make some
Do you
changes.
see them attempting to
Looking at
trade
the-
Jones?
I think that all depends on how DeVito plays.
That's fair.
I don't think you need a wide receiver one inning season. I think you could look for, because there's a lot of solid talent coming out of the draft. I've always told Sham there's one wide receiver one in the draft, and what I mean by that, I mean the top dog, Marvin Harrison Jr. But there's other receivers that could be like Malik Neighbors. If you could snag him, but I'd say that only is possible if you're confident Tommy's the way, the move.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, you're what, at pick number 6?
Yeah, there's 6.
Yeah. So
They
it could
could-
happen, but
They could easily get one of the wide receivers that's going to be available that isn't Marvin Harrison. And they could also, if one of the 5 teams ahead of them are retarded, still get Marvin Harrison Jr. as well.
it's the Bears and one of those 2 picks. I wonder if they trade one of those.
They could. It'd be
I could see it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be an awful thing to do, but it depends on what they trade the pick for.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a big haul. Maybe the Panthers again. Trade them back the pick.
They're not trading that first pick.
I don't know. David
Unless-
Tepper is kind of a moron.
Huh?
Good hedge fund manager, not a good.
Do you think the Panthers
Owner.
will trade again?
Yes.
And give them something that's worth that pick? We don't have anything.
You give
Our
them
best
everything you have
players-
left.
Our best players are going into free agency besides Derek Brown. We don't have anything. And I don't want to say we. Now I'm mad that you made me say we.
The Chiefs are we, the Jets are we, the Panthers are we.
Merton's just a fan of the sport.
Yeah.
Big
And the
football
Bears-
guy.
Merton's
Bears
just
could-
here so he won't get fined.
Big
Yeah.
football guy, bigger Zach Wilson fan. It
True.
seems.
Yeah,
The
you
Bears
can't call what he
trade
does
Bears
football, though.
pick to the Chiefs. That's what I want. Trade the pick to the Chiefs so they can get Marvin.
What are the
And
Chiefs going to give them, though?
It doesn't matter. It's the Bears.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter.
The
They can give
Bears,
Travis
for
Kelce.
all the Bears' issues, both historically and currently, they're at least making smarter decisions by being able to identify, like, that's a deal you cannot say no to with the trade offer that the Panthers gave.
No, they could have got Chase Young, but they traded too early and got the worst edge rusher off of the Commanders.
They
I forgot
did,
what-
and they gave more than the. Where did
Exactly.
Young end up? Was it?
49ers.
Yeah, it was the Niners. Yeah.
They could have got Chase Young with that same, well, not a same offer, but a similar offer.
Yeah. My recollection is they even came out, the commies. They were like, we didn't plan to trade him, but the Bears just gave too much.
So that just negates your earlier statement of they make.
It's
smarter-
definitely not favorable, but I mean,
think it was
we're talking
more
like
David-
historically bad decisions, though.
The Panthers are historically retarded at this.
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
That's the only reason they took that deal.
Yeah, but it takes someone who's slightly less retired to be able to identify that this is a good deal that we should take. Because it was a really good deal for them. I think they can build off of that. And if they choose to keep Justin Fields, they can get their wide receiver with that pick and then also trade the pick that they have at either they finish 5 or 6 or whatever it is. They might end up beating the Cardinals, so it might be a little bit lower than that. But yeah, you could take that pick and you could make something out of it.
No, the only threat to the Panthers' position as the worst team in the league is the Patriots, because Patriots have no reason to win, while the Panthers have actual reason to win.
Bill Belichick has one reason to win at the end, because he hates the Jets.
Nah, losing the opportunity at the first pick in the draft is
Oh, he doesn't care. Allegedly, he's fired.
Honestly,
what
it's
way?
probably for the best. He needs to go somewhere. He either needs to just stop coaching or go somewhere else.
Sometimes a change of scenery is all you really need. But we can jump into this now. We've been dancing around coaches. We might as well start this up.
There's a stream.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
You've
I have a tier list here for us. The podcast can also see it. Don't you worry.
who are these coaches?
Yes,
Oh.
these are coaches. We have a tier list
No.
here. That is the coldest. So this is to represent their safety in employment. Snow Miser, you're completely safe. It's the holidays. I figured I'd go with a Christmas guy. Room temp, there's like an 80% chance you're safe, but you're pretty good. Sauna, you're sweating. There's maybe like a 50-50 you're getting fired. Blazing Inferno, there's no way that you're finishing the season, or no, not even that you're not finishing the season. You are not having another year with this team. You're gone. And then fired already is people who are fired already, because I didn't feel like removing them from the selection.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right,
so
we have the Cardinals coach first.
room temp.
Gannon. I think that he was
Agreed,
brought
room
in
temp.
with the understanding that they weren't gonna win a whole lot.
They had no Kyler. They traded away a bunch of pieces. Just I don't know what the plan was, but it wasn't to win.
Nope.
Plan was James Conner.
I think it was just evaluate, see what you have, because they have that top pick now. I think it's figure out when Kyler comes back. Are we keeping Kyler? Who do we have here? Is Hollywood Brown able to be a wide receiver one? Stuff like
No.
that. Yes, I know
two.
the answer is no to that. But they did want to find it out.
Some people I know thought he was better than he is, but he's never been.
He
If he
had
was
that
with Lamar,
1,000-yard season. That was with Joe Flacco, wasn't it? He didn't even
No.
need Lamar. The 1,000-yard season? That wasn't with Joe Flacco?
You know what? Let me confirm. You can move on
It
to
could
the
have
next
been
one.
Lamar. I could have my years off. All right. Idiot Arthur Smith.
Gone. Well, he should be. I don't know what they would do.
I don't know. Like, part of me is like, yeah, he should be fired, but the
Part
other
of
part
me
of me,
says Blazing Inferno. I feel like it's closer to Sauna though.
yeah, I want to say Blazing Inferno. What do you think, Jordan?
Let's go. I don't know.
Sano might just be because the Falcons are the Falcons.
Yeah. I mean,
Arthur Smith.
If they missed the playoffs, he could degrade into Blazing Inferno, but they're still in the hunt.
Yeah.
But they also just lost to the Panthers.
He should be.
We'll say and did they score a touchdown? What was the score there?
Yes, it was 7-9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
scored a touchdown. The Panthers didn't.
Yep.
At least they scored.
Hollywood Brown did not have 1,000 yards.
When did he have the 1,000-yard?
It was in the mid. It was Lamar's MVP season.
Okay, that makes 1,000% sense. Okay.
Or was it the year after? It was 2021.
Okay, but it was with Lamar.
Who is this?
This is John Harbaugh.
Snow.
Yeah, very safe.
Yeah.
Bengals?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I would say so, especially with how he's been. You disagree, Patrick?
No, I said Snow.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, part of that just cut off. I heard it Snow.
Yeah.
Bills, Sean Montgomery, room temp.
You think room temp?
No.
I would make
I
the
think-
argument for
I think
Sauna.
I would as
Yeah.
well.
I'd say you could say Sauna, but
After what they just did with the Cowboys,
I think it was
I think he was in Blazing Inferno until they did that to the Cowboys.
No, I
Oh,
think it was when they got rid of that offensive coordinator, the team turned around. They're
They
back
did.
to room temp.
Well, here's my argument. I think the leak about his 9/11 comments was tactically done to make him the scapegoat at the end of the season if it went wrong and they missed the playoffs. And they still could miss the playoffs, which is why I personally think Sauna, if they miss the playoffs, I think he might be gone. Which wouldn't make him room temp.
no.
I'd have Tom
I
McDermott.
don't
He's
think he'd
my
be
head coach.
gone, but I think Sauna's probably.
I feel like it's
safer.
closer to Sauna.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say it's closer to 70% and not 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. It's a hard case because they definitely had a prominent showing against the Cowboys. They did what they had to do. They came up with a game plan to win, and it worked. But
In
also at the
terms of-
same time, they're still out of it. They're still in the hunt.
I feel like Sean McDermott is the guy who's like getting his towels and ready to go into the sauna.
That could be true. So what's our final verdict? Is he room temp or is he sauna?
I mean, y'all have 3 votes for Sauna, so it's Sauna.
Sauna.
All right. Frank Reich already fired. Poor guy didn't get to pick his QB. This is Matt Eberflus.
It was terrible anyway.
Eberflus.
He's Blazing Inferno.
I could not agree more. He's supposed to be a defensive guy. His defense doesn't look that good. It's constantly holding back Justin Fields, which, coming from me, that's a big statement.
Yeah.
Browns head coach.
Kevin
This is-
Stefanski.
This is
Stefanski.
an odd one.
Uh,
Whose fault was it Deshaun Watson was picked up?
I think that's a front office kind of thing. I don't know if Stefanski was like, yeah, that's the guy I need to win.
I'm thinking his job is pretty safe right now.
But that also means that the front office is full of idiots.
No,
So I would
Yes.
say room temp not because of him.
I'm saying
If it were just
Sauna.
him, I would say Snow. But I'm gonna say room temp just because front office is actually the idiots.
I want to
I
hear
would-
your sauna argument.
I'd say with the acquisitions they have been making, they're trying to win now, and they're not anywhere near that. So I feel like it'd be closer to Sauna to try to help because they have Deshaun Watson's contract, they have Myles Garrett. Their defense is stacked. They have
Very
Amari
good
Cooper.
defense.
They lost Nick Chubb, but they should be winning games. And
They are winning games.
They are
They
winning
only
games.
won
Yeah.
because of Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
not
but
necessarily winning.
who acquired Joe Flacco and coached the team to win through 3 interceptions?
Nah, if it's not Sauna, it's room temp.
It's room
not
temp,
Snow.
yeah, without a doubt, it's room temp.
Um,
I don't think he's on the edge. Like, they are a team that has lost 3 quarterbacks and is still prominent. Like, they have the top wild card spot right now.
And they lost top 5, top 10 running back.
Yep. And
Nick Chubb.
they've had all this adversity, and they're still somehow in it. I
Yeah.
think that is a very safe, not a 100% safe coach, but a very safe coach. McCarthy.
he, as long as he doesn't want to leave, he's Snow.
Really?
Jerry Jones. As long as Jerry Jones can control the coach, he doesn't care who's the coach.
I've heard that he and Jerry have some feuds sometimes.
Because Jerry doesn't know how to leave the front office.
I mean,
No, he's their GM.
He's the problem. He's half of the
He
problem.
is. He's the reason they have Trey Lance right now.
He's the problem. He's also their money.
He is. Jerry World is a very nice stadium.
I think before Mike McCarthy, they weren't even making playoffs. They
No,
were
Mike
just 8-8.
McCarthy is a solid coach.
So he's definitely. If he's not safe, he's room temp.
He's room temp. I think it's like a 80, 90. He's safe.
Yeah.
But I can't say that Jerry Jones won't get drunk after they get bounced from the divisional again and be like, you know what? Fuck this guy. He's not winning. I need someone else.
Problem is, Jerry won't find anyone else.
Yes, but Jerry can never admit that. He fired Parcells for the same reason. All right, Sean Payton.
I don't feel like Mike's scoring. After the turnaround, he's
It's his first year back. I feel like he's Snow.
Yeah, I think he's Snow.
After
The turnaround, I
he's-
think, solidified.
Plus what Denver gave up to get him. Like,
Yep, they're gonna side with him.
Yeah, he can't be anything for right now. If they haven't had anything happen in like 2 years, then he might be Sauna. But
Yeah,
for right now, I'm saying Snow.
As long as he doesn't cause any issues.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still in the hunt. They still might make the playoffs. Even I don't necessarily think they will, but it's possible. And I think he's safe regardless because the team was looking like they were gonna be one of the worst. They had 70 dropped on them, and now they're right in the thick of it. I
Yeah.
think that's a very safe job.
Snow.
Dan Campball.
Snow.
No, yeah.
Yeah, not
They're
a whole lot to
frauds.
say. He's making the offense.
They're frauds, and I've always told you that they were, but they're Snow.
Hey, I mean they did it to the Broncos.
They're doing some. They're I think they're back. This is the first time they've been back to the playoffs or whatever. In a while.
A fun fact for everyone listening: JFK has only missed one Lions playoff win.
He's Snow.
He's
Who is this?
He's in
I
a
can't-
fucking blizzard right
yeah,
now.
he is. He's safe. This is LaFleur. I think he's room temp.
He's room temp. They're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt of the fact that
His DC might go.
his team is young.
His
Yeah,
team's young.
yeah.
He's dealing with a
Yeah.
first-year starting quarterback.
Who Packers fans are babying. So
He might
he's
not
room
even.
temp.
Yeah, he might be Snow Miser even just because of all those factors.
Yeah, I would. I'm honestly leaning Snow.
What do you think,
He's
Jordan?
minimum room temp.
Yeah.
I will allow a Snow.
I think just because of all the factors that Patrick said, like young team, the DC might have to be a scapegoat this year though, because their defense has not held up their end of the bargain.
No.
They allowed Baker Mayfield to have the first visiting perfect passer rating of a quarterback in Lambeau Field ever
In December.
in December. That's supposed to be the big one in December. So that DC might have to go. Although I saw a report saying that LaFleur was going to stick by him. I don't know if that simply just meant for the rest of the season or for next season. But I think he's safe right now. I don't think there's any chance he's being fired. I think he's Snow.
One moment. Is that next tab Blame Truth?
Yes it is.
Okay.
The podcast can't see my tabs. Only you guys can see my tabs.
I did hear about
Jaguars?
that though, Cham.
Yes.
Doug Peterson, Snow.
Yeah. I will ask you the question.
just
Do
got
you
him,
think
so.
he's in danger if they don't win the division?
No.
Okay. He's always safe regardless.
They just got him.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
still. I mean,
He's
Shad
not Urban
Khan-
Meyer.
Yeah, Shad. I mean, look what Urban Meyer had to do to get fired.
True.
And then Gus Bradley stuck around for 4 years with very poor,
No.
just very poor performance at head coach. So he's Snow.
Yeah, very true. Andy Reid.
No.
Snow. I
Yeah.
think he has this job for as long as he wants it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's Staley.
Fired already.
Yep.
Yeah, gone.
McVay.
Uh,
They're having a little bit of a turnaround now, late into the season. Puka Nakua's been exciting.
I would have said sauna, but room temp.
Yeah, it's been turning around, but there have been games where he's just straight up looked
They won a
checked
Super
out.
Bowl. He's room temp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Room temp.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl. He's room temp.
Idiot.
Uh,
Mike McDaniel. I think he's Snow
Snow.
Miser. I think he's
Yeah, Snow,
insanely
yeah.
safe. Yeah.
There's so many easy snows in here.
Bill Belichick. This one's an interesting one.
I don't
Is
know how
he in a
he's-
blazing inferno?
I don't know how
I
he's
think
supposed
so.
to
I
play.
think Kraft is just ready to move on.
So says the rumors. Reportedly, he's already been fired. It's just a matter of finishing the season.
Well, then if the rumors are true, then it would be
Yeah,
Blazing Inferno.
yeah, it would
Yeah.
be.
I
Merton.
mean, why not trade him like the
Well,
Saints did?
They could. The details of his contract aren't very well known. So whether or not you can, or if he's even under contract at the end, like no one was even sure if he got an extension this year. So it's hard to say, but they might trade him for capital. If they can. No one really knows the exact details. Saints head coach.
He should be.
This no-name Saints head coach.
He should be in the
That guy.
sauna.
I think he's in the
but
sauna.
I don't know with the Saints. I'd have to ask my resident Saints fan, but I'm going with sauna.
I mean,
His
they've...
name
he
is
should-
Dennis Allen.
Yes, Dennis Allen.
He should be in Blazing Inferno because he's incompetent, but sauna.
I definitely think he's in sauna because they're still in the hunt, and there are so many issues with the team.
Before
Like
the
his
season
decision making
started-
is one of them, but
For sure.
Who did I say?
would
Before
say
the
sauna.
season started, I think I was saying the Saints was supposed to win the division. I think
they
I said the
should
Saints.
be. Yeah, they're...
I don't remember.
They still look like a
Confusingly-
decently competent team, which is a good
It's all
sign.
about figuring out how to get the team to work together. Like sometimes
Yeah.
Derek Carr is throwing to no one out of protest. Like someone should be there on the route, yet he decides to just throw it angrily at no one because they're not there.
You got to teach them a lesson.
I guess so. But their O-line's aging. A lot of their core is aging on defense. Other than Olave, there's not a whole lot you can really rest your laurels on. But
Whoa! Jimmy Graham is a dog.
what's his face hasn't shown up. Jamal Williams. They didn't even trade for him. They just acquired him, and he's basically done nothing on this team for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're doing. They have tools, but they're just not putting them together. Brian Dable.
Hey, well,
I think with the turnaround, he's safe. He won Coach of the Year last year.
yeah, I would say probably room temperature. I don't know if he's like super safe, but with honestly, yeah, no, his job is probably safe.
I feel like it's closer to snow. I think
I-
the problem
yeah.
is the front office that gave
Think-
Daniel Jones that contract.
Yeah.
They would.
Well, he has to
going
have signed on
going
it.
into his contract, there was literally like zero expectations.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing really to look forward to, hang your hat on besides like Saquon. The defense wasn't even at times they were all right before Dable, but
He turned
Just
around the
like-
team very quickly too. Like you went from
Yeah.
Joe Judge running quarterback sneaks in your own end zone on 3rd and 4th down to Brian
Yeah, if-
Dable getting you into the playoffs and
Yeah,
winning
no,
one.
exactly
I think
with
Snow.
Dable. Yeah, I feel like with Dable, it like the floor for the team's potential it has like skyrocketed, and so it's given.
Yeah, a little bit of a disproportionate. Like this was sort of expected to happen, in my opinion, because like who did you have to really rest your hat on? Like Daniel Jones isn't that great. Saquon Barkley's aging, and he was feuding, so he didn't even have his
Aging.
OTAs.
Yeah,
He's
I don't know about
aging, is he
but-
not?
Aging is crazy.
No, I don't mean like he's declining. I mean like he's getting older, and that makes it difficult to sign him to
In
another
the
deal.
prime of his running back life.
I agree with that, but the Giants front office doesn't.
I think McCaffrey's older.
McCaffrey's also the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the best team in the league with the best offensive line in the league. There's a slight
Yeah, it's easy to be good
context.
when everyone
There's
else
some
is good.
context needed
Also,
there.
that extends your shelf life if your offensive line is that good because you're
Yeah,
not getting tackled as
right.
much.
And the
All
way
right,
they play
so-
him too also extends his shelf life, where they run him out of the slot.
God, I wish they would do that more with ETN. Anyway,
True. I feel the same way about Breeze. They started doing it. Speaking of the Jets, though, Robert Saleh.
This is you. First.
I think he's absolutely fine because Rodgers went down on the fourth play.
You know my
Yeah.
stats on this.
Rodgers also said on McAfee today that if his words are anything to take into consideration, which they probably are, everyone's coming back. He has confidence in the staff.
I think it's obviously snow, even though it should be. Well, I have 2 points here. It should be
Mhm.
closer to room temp, but I think it's obviously snow. I don't think they're gonna blame him for any part of this season.
The only point where I would say he might be room temperature is after we acquired Favre, Woody Johnson said he's definitely not firing the head coach. And then after it all fell apart, he fired the head coach.
What a dog.
I mean, it could have also been because the Jets lied about Favre's injury. So you have to punish somebody. But I don't know. I think he's probably safe. I think he's probably in Snow Miser. Like, Jets fans love to say, like, oh, he's definitely getting fired. Woody's reactionary. He's gonna scapegoat everybody. He's gonna fire everybody. But then, like, what do you do? Then you're back to square one again. And now you have Aaron Rodgers with nobody.
Yeah, you're in a way worse position without him.
Exactly. I think he's
Regardless of how
completely
the season
safe. I
ends.
think he is. Regardless of how the record has gone, I think losing Rodgers gets you a mulligan, basically.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni.
Snow.
Yeah. I mean, like, there are issues appearing now. There are cracks based on who they replaced their DC and OC with. But I don't think he's getting fired. I think he's probably solid. Do you have issues with that, though, Merton? I heard an
You can put him in snow.
While I do that, did you have concerns?
No, it's fine. You can put him in snow. I won't. I'll hold off on my thoughts on him for a little bit longer.
Okay.
They've
Mike
had
Tomlin.
too much success for
made it to the
for him
Super
to
Bowl.
be- Blazing Inferno.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. I
who are we
think
looking at?
he's room temp.
Who
Mike
are we-
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Snow.
Wow, we are all over on this, Jordan.
I'm funnily, I'm thinking room temp, honestly.
Yeah, he shouldn't be anywhere below room temp.
So,
But I
Patrick,
think
explain
no.
Blazing Inferno.
Cause like, well, yeah, go ahead.
So the Steelers have ever since really like the last few years of Roethlisberger, they've just not been playing well. He's always had that 8-8 season. Steelers fans are calling for his head, and I really think the Rooneys may just, if he has a losing season, the Rooney family is going to get rid of him.
That would be quite the stance. You have one losing season and you're fired.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is the argument to be made that you get complacent when you're somewhere for too long. Maybe you could see a little bit of that. The standard is the standard, doesn't quite live up to the standard anymore. I mean, they're winning due to defensive battles, which is his side of the ball. I think there's a lot of credit to be said for that. I don't think he's anywhere below room temperature just because the Steelers never fire anyone.
I think the only problem with the Steelers, and I don't know if he is in control, how much control he has in the drafts, but they didn't replace Ben Roethlisberger, so
No,
there
yeah,
is
they
no
still
hope
haven't
in
done
that.
that.
They got hometown
No.
kid Kenny Pickett.
His only issue was
Dude, I'd rather have a rock.
holding on to Matt Canada for as long as he did. That's
Yeah.
literally his only issue.
I mean, maybe maybe he was playing 4D chess, and that was to protect Kenny Pickett because he knew Kenny was ass.
He has no quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah, they're starting Mason Rudolph this week.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Every
And the
quarterback in
Steelers-
that roster is terrible.
To go back to the Steelers fans, though, for a second, the Steelers fans were chanting Mason Rudolph on Thursday Night Football, wanting him to come in.
They're delusional at this point.
I would kill to have a head coach who's never had a losing season. All of my life, every Jets head coach has had a losing season. Almost every time, except for Rex Ryan.
Mike Tomlin is
He's a man.
top 5 quarterback head coach in the league, in my opinion.
Actually, that's not true. Parcells had some winning seasons, too. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, but I think he's safe. I think he's, at minimum, room temp.
Put him at the top of room temp.
Well, I haven't been ordering it based on
I
how
know.
likely.
I've been thinking of it. But
Pete Carroll, Snow Miser.
No,
I
yeah.
don't think there's... he's safe for his whole life.
Yeah.
Until he retires.
Exactly. Todd Bowles.
Room temp. I think
Ooh.
sauna, actually.
I was going to say, I think he's in a sauna.
Sauna.
I mean, if they make it to the playoffs, I think he's fine. But no, I'll go with sauna.
Making the
Sauna
playoffs
sounds
is
about
a
right.
coin flip in and of itself.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure.
I think after losing Brady, they're allowed some things because he took over for Bruce Arians. First of all,
I mean, the
David
team
White-
took some massive steps back, though, even with Brady.
David
Yeah.
White hasn't been a football player since the Super Bowl, so I think he's closer to room temp. But I'll go with sauna.
All right. Vrabel.
Who's he coaching? The Titans.
Titans.
Sauna.
I've heard rumors that he's in line for the Patriots position.
I have heard that too.
I would
So, even if he
but-
is...
sauna or Blazing.
I wouldn't say that the Titans would give him up willingly.
True. I think he's competent enough, and I think the Titans front office was aware that they didn't have quite enough to make a push. Like, they were caught in between rebuild and push, so they signed D-Hop, but then they don't do anything else, and they play the most boring brand of football out there.
They have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Everything they've done for the last I don't know how many years, besides getting Derrick Henry, has been bad.
You don't like the D-Hop acquisition.
No, they didn't even have a quarterback they trusted on the roster.
Yeah. But
True, but I
And
thought maybe they
then-
thought like D-Hop could make up for inequities.
And then they traded one of the best safeties in the league to the Eagles.
Yeah,
they're
that's
bad.
that's the front office being incompetent, though, which makes me think he's more sauna than anything else because they don't make wise
No.
decisions.
The front office isn't
No, the-
going to let themselves be blamed here. They're right.
That might be a wise observation. Well, we'll go with sauna.
I would
Any
say sauna.
objections?
no.
Merton's favorite coach of all time, Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera.
That's wild. Blazing.
Blazing Inferno is an understatement for Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Blazing.
I'm saying Well, he traded his whole team.
They
almost.
did trade like the only
I mean, they
good
were
part
asked
of that
before they
team.
did.
Yeah, but at least they had something.
They did.
They traded away whatever was left.
I'm
Oh.
honestly shocked he hasn't been fired already. I thought they were going to test out the enemy.
They're not gonna fire him. Sauna. I mean, not sauna. Blazing
Fire him mid-season or at all?
at all.
Ooh, wouldn't that make him sauna then?
There's
Technically, that makes him snow miser if he's not being fired at all.
the Commanders are.
They have new ownership. They're
Are
free.
they gonna change their name again?
Yeah,
They're
that's the
supposed to
report
be.
that they're going
Thank
to.
God.
They're currently being sued by Native Americans, trying to say that they should change it back to Redskins because making it not Redskins makes it sound like being Native American is derogatory.
You can't win.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
It was like
love to
Kyle
see it.
Shanahan right there. So you know where that's
It
supposed to
is.
go.
Oh yeah. If I was stacking it, he'd be all the way over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I've heard some things about Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he's in
from
whatever the
people-
fuck when he's
From
down by
people
8.
who have the privilege
Whatever.
of having him as a coach.
True.
If only other people were as privileged. That
Indeed.
offensive
It's like the
genius.
Tomlin thing. You're suffering from too much success.
You know, the Steelers who lead the entire NFL in Super Bowls, I believe.
Aren't they tied with the Patriots?
That still works.
Fair enough.
Depends if you're counting Super Bowls or if you're going back to like championships prior to like
Super
the Super
Bowls.
Bowl
Because
existing.
then Otto Graham would be the GOAT.
Yes. All right,
Okay.
who's this next guy?
D'Amico Ryans.
Obviously Snow.
Yeah,
No.
he's done above and beyond what he had to do.
He might be a top 5 head coach already.
This is
who's-
Shane Steichen.
I don't know who that is.
Colts.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
Snow.
supremely safe. The stuff that
Yeah.
he's been able to do after losing his quarterback,
I think he'll lose a lot more.
he did.
Although
Kevin O'Connell.
I
Oh.
will say the Colts still haven't won in Jacksonville.
True. But Irsay, although Irsay is an insane person, I don't think that's going to be the thing that
No.
gets him fired.
Like it would have to be that along with losing like 12 other games.
Yeah.
he gets bailed out from losing JJ and Kirk Snow.
Yeah, I don't think they're firing him because they still won some games even after that. All right, so these are the interim coaches now. This is the Chargers interim coach whose name escapes me at this moment.
I don't know if you can place any of these besides the Raiders. in any of these.
Well, we sort of can. The Chargers one is harder to place because he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Chargers is Gift Smith.
Definitely can't do the Panthers either.
Yes. Panthers, I mean, they won a game.
Doesn't matter.
True.
The Panthers.
But
David
you have to
Tepper
look at it
fired-
from...
Hold on, no. David Tepper didn't hire Steve Wilkes, so it doesn't matter. He's not getting a job full time either.
Well, that's the thing, though. Who is he going to replace him with? Who wants that job? You have this quarterback who might be terrible, this impetuous owner. Who are you going to lure into this?
He'll find.
You might have to keep him.
Not gonna happen.
All right. And he'll go into Blazing
He's not
Inferno.
He's not going to keep any random interim head coach. First of all, because he doesn't want the Panthers to be mid. He wants to win.
He keeps stopping them from doing that.
And he only won against the Falcons, so he doesn't have a secure job.
All right.
Steve Wilkes went on a better run than him. Got
He
fired
did.
immediately.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that. I think they should have stuck with Wilkes.
Chargers guy.
Chargers guy.
He's just
Gift
even where
Smith.
he's at. Because
Not
like
Chargers
this,
guy.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything yet, so it is difficult to place. I almost want to say he's Blazing Inferno, though, just because the rumors go that Bill Belichick's going to go there.
you can put him there.
He could be
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
So I think there's absolutely nothing he can do. He's not keeping that job.
Yeah.
And
Raiders,
Antonio Pierce, the interesting one.
he should be room temp at least, but I don't know what the Raiders will do. I really can't tell
I
you.
don't know because he like played so bad against the Vikings and so good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's some massive dichotomies. I think they got to see where he stabilizes. He might be in sauna. He might be in room temp.
But also,
I'm gonna say sauna.
to be fair to him, he doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
He had he has zero quarterback play almost.
I think it'll come
And
down to, did they learn from firing or letting Rich Bisaccia go? Because that was a mistake.
I'd say
Yeah,
the
they
Raiders
should
give him
never
more
have.
of a
They should
try.
have just kept him as head coach and never hired McDaniel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fat and stupid.
I think they give him another shot.
So, sauna or room temp?
I'd say room temp.
All right. I think you'll probably get one.
Wait, what was your? It was 2-2. You decided
Oh,
this is room
sorry.
temp?
My bad.
It was
Let
me
me
and
talk it
Jordy
out for another
was
second.
like, yeah, me and Jordy were room temp, but 2 were sauna.
I've been talked into room temp. I feel like my only hesitation is the
between-
Raiders' ownership is not very smart.
This is true. I'm between sauna and room temp, so
Yeah.
fine with room temp.
All right, that's what we got then.
Okay, save it and upload.
Perfect. Everyone can see it. Yeah, no. We should wrap though. We're at that time.
We are at that time.
Didn't talk a second about video games.
We didn't. We can rapidly go. Did you guys know that Call of Duty was outsold by Lethal Company on Steam?
It can be a great asset in that game.
So I've heard. Merton wants to play that game. I haven't forgotten, Merton. Don't you worry. I remember.
Mm.
Seems
Charlie
fun.
Intel leaked. There's 2 Call of Duties that are coming out. It's very unclear if Treyarch is making both of them, but one of them is a sequel to Black Ops 2, and it's unclear if they're making that one.
It would be a real problem if they weren't.
They might
would
not. It
make
might be
sense
Raven.
if it wouldn't be them. And it was already
Sledgehammer
confirmed
made
they're making a
MW3.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, and then didn't they lose control over it?
That's the report.
I'm unaware of this.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I think one of the games is supposed to be during like the first Gulf War.
Yeah. That's the for sure Treyarch one.
That'll be, I think, like as far as a story that that conflict isn't touched on as much. So that'll be, I guess, interesting.
Yeah, shout out to HW.
You can click the third one.
Third one. Oh, right. I forgot I
Oh.
was still sharing. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you are.
Of course, part of the reason was that is because that conflict, like the ground war in that war, lasted 100 hours.
I like how the first thing you see is someone thinking this is Sledgehammer, calling this a DLC game.
Thank you, Sledgehammer Games. I mean, it could be. Call of Duty's in a weird spot, and I don't think it'll stabilize until Microsoft really takes over.
Yeah.
Well, not what they with Treyarch did with Black Ops Cold War story. Just need more of that. I need to finish that story now that I think about it.
All right. Let us
To
wrap.
basically choose your ending.
True.
I
I doubt they'll ever acknowledge it.
I had something to ask while you're here and
Yeah,
I'm
quick
here.
final thoughts.
No, it's about something else. Did we finish that video game tournament?
The ones that are the best?
I guess so.
No, we
that's
did
what it was.
not. We can pick that up though.
When I don't, I'd have to redo it. 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
remember
probably. I
anything.
mean, we can do that. We have more submissions, more tiebreakers, more excitement.
Oh man.
All right. Final thoughts, Patrick.
I'm sticking with the Blazing Inferno for Tomlin. It's not what have you done. It's what have you done for me recently, and Tomlin really hasn't done a whole lot for the Steelers recently.
I don't blame you. I can see that perspective. I get it. They're really upset.
I think this is coming from a Jaguars super fan hating on the Steelers.
The Jags have so like lifetime the Jags have beaten the Steelers more than the Steelers have beaten the Jags.
But how many Super Bowls do the Jaguars have?
0.
I mean, if the Jaguars existed as long as the Steelers did, maybe they would.
I don't know about that.
Maybe.
Yep.
All right.
Final thoughts,
Probably not.
Jordan.
Like
Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Final thoughts.
Yep.
I don't know. There's a lot of these coaches' jobs will depend on how things shake out in the with this race for the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that are still in it, and a lot of people that can still save their jobs. So good
right
luck
on the
to
cusp.
them.
True.
Yeah.
All right, final thoughts from me. I hate Zach Wilson in game, and I hope he's traded.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
I was gonna say Tom Brady said his favorite for MVP is Christian McCaffrey.
I saw that. Mine
So,
too, honestly. We didn't talk
everyone-
MVPs.
It's a very good pick.
We can do that later, though. Like, next time. All right.
That works.
Goodbye, everyone.
Next Tuesday.
Yes, next
Yes.
Tuesday.
All
Next
right.
Tuesday.
All right. 3, 2, 1, bye.